चालू हो गया।
machine tool, MSME startup ventures and industry wide. In his over 4 decades of industrial career, he has held many leadership positions in diverse industries such as machine tools, as MD and then board member of Strad India, and also as CEO of Nagpur. In electrical industry with Plasto and Cooper, in consumer durables, consumer products, and also trucks. He has immense experience in Industry 4.0, which focuses on getting our industry ready for the digital era, leveraging IT, smart manufacturing, etc. Today, he will be speaking on the topic Lean 4.0, integration of lean manufacturing tools and digital technologies to achieve operational excellence for MSMEs.
Good afternoon, service. Qualifying to see that the mix of both manufacturing and service. And my session is agnostic to both manufacturing and service. Right? It could be a product or a service, which could be a tangible or intangible, right? And all these concepts are equally applicable. So you can spread the message in your Vidarba management association members, on your Sunday brunch meetings, that these are equally applicable to various walks of life, right? So without much ado, let me make a beginning. Yeah. And I think time management is essential. You have a validatory function after the T, right? Today I will cover the 4 things. Whenever I am not audible, you let me know. Maybe I can switch to another thing. What is the context of Lean 4.0? What is the objective of Lean 4.0 and Industry 4.0? Right? Some of the terminologies, instead of giving it as a jargons, I would like to elucidate so anybody can understand, regardless of which function you belong or which industry you belong. How to integrate Lean and I 4.0? I will try to make an abridged PDF and send it to the association leadership, so you can forward it. So you can save your energy on photography. How to integrate and how to implement. Implementation is the most important thing, right? A lot of theory can be taught, and we had a fantastic session in the afternoon at 12 o'clock. I was listening to it. The Ashok Leyland Transformation Project, some of you may be there in the morning, is giving the illustration of what all can be done with digital transformation. Very quickly, I am moving the slides faster, but you can stop me wherever you want and say, I don't understand it, can you explain? Or you can reserve the questions to the end and you can have a healthy discussion at the end of it. So this is the journey of industrialization. Slightly increase the volume. This volume can be slightly increased.
Can you speak?
Yeah. Clear, sir? Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I just referred to your talk, great talk.
Thank you.
The Ashok Leyland transformation experience. Yeah? So the journey of industrialization is starting with the steam engine, mechanical engineering. How many of you are mechanical engineers around the room? Oh, good, at least around. Yeah, thank you, sir. And then Industry 2.0 focused on manufacturing systems arising out of electrical engineering. The moment motors were invented by Michael Faraday and other people, then you can get into assembly lines. Otherwise, so the Industry 2.0 focused on mass production assembly line using electrical technology. Right? And then what is Industry 3.0? It's a computerized revolution. The moment computers are in place, you can get a lot of support to the manufacturing system, not only for ERP and other reasons, but even in the shop floor. There used to be a project called computer integrated manufacturing and computer aided manufacturing and computer aided design and so on and so forth. All these are alluding to Industry 3.0. So mechanical ho gaya, electrical ho gaya, computer ho gaya. Easily you can remember, right? In your Sunday branch sessions you can share with others. And the last but not the least is Industry 4.0. What does this connote? The key point here is internet enabled digital technologies. It is not just the computers, but the internet-enabled digital technology is coming into play. And then there are some experts like McKinsey. They thought, thoda masala dalna padega. So they said, we'll not only look at digital technology or internet-enabled digital technology, we will add some masalas to it called intelligent automation. So there are 2 pillars of the Industry 4.0. Number 1 pillar is called the intelligent automation. I have a slide on it, I will show quickly later on. And number 2 pillar is a smart automation, right? I'm sorry, number 2 pillar is intelligent automation, same as smart automation. Number 2 pillar is flexible automation, right? I will explain this concept of flexibility in a little while. So Lean 4.0, how suddenly Lean is coming in the picture? So some of you are wondering, maybe the Lean is also a new word for some of you, or maybe you are already familiar with. How many of you are familiar with the terminology Lean? In normal English connotation, what is the opposite of Lean? Fat. Yeah? So when we go for exercise and gym and all those things, what are we doing? We are removing the fat. So Lean is nothing but removing the fat in organizations, whether it is a product organization or a service organization, whether it is a hospitality sector or a hospital sector, namely healthcare, or manufacturing sector, trucks, tractors, regardless of whichever sector, there is a lot of fat, there is a lot of waste to be eliminated. The technical word here is waste, right? And Japanese call it as muda. Have you heard of the word muda? Yes. Muda, mura, buri. There are 3 words, very powerful words. And there is a great author called Masaki Imai. He classified all problems on earth, whether it is manufacturing sector, service sector, society, whatever it is, into 3 types of problems, right? One of them is called waste, muda, right? The other 2 will wait for another Sunday brunch session, maybe an online or otherwise. So, the lean manufacturing concept or lean management concept is basically looking at elimination of waste. Can you all repeat again? Elimination of, once again? So when you go back to your workplaces from tomorrow, right? When you go back to the Gemba means workplace. The workplace doesn't mean need not be a workshop. It could be even your office. You will see a lot of waste around. You will start observing it. And when you eliminate the waste, you get lean manufacturing systems, right? As simple as that. And how do we bring in Industry 4.0 to improve this lean manufacturing system is a concept of Lean 4.0. Are you all clear? I'm just setting the context. Now there are 4 things written at the bottom. They are very important. Maybe I'll go closer to that. Are you able to read it? Mass customization, UKA, operational excellence, etc. I will not labor on it now, but we will come to that as we go on, right? Yeah, so basically, what are the sectors which are affected by this concept of lean as well as lean 4.0, right? I just illustrated some manufacturing sectors, right? Nagpur is very famous for automotive industry, namely Mahindra. I used to come to Mahindra and give a lot of machinery from my days of Makino machine tools. How many of you heard of the word Makino? Right, at least 2 of them. Great, it's a good percentage to go by. And so those are horizontal machining centers running beautifully in there. Anybody from Mahindra? No. Okay, thank you. So, you have to be very careful in quoting the case study. I'll exactly tell you what happened in Mahindra. There is a fantastic 2 machines were replaced by 1 machine of mine, right? And they were so happy with quality, delivery and cost, all the 3, right? And then there are many other industries. As you could see here, maybe my pointer is working. Automotive, trucks, tractors, 2-wheelers. We call them as transport industry. Machine tool, capital goods, material handling, we call them as other industrial products. Oil and gas, construction equipment, blah blah. Aerospace, defense. Process industry. I think you have a lot of process industry in Nagpur, am I right? Yes. Cement and so many foundries and allied industries, right? Now all this put together is called, I would say, a manufacturing subset. It's not the complete manufacturing. What I not shown here is FMCG and so on and so forth. The Pepsis and Hindustan Levers of the world. And if you add, I think that's somewhere alluded here, pharma, food processing. And what is these 2 pictures? Those 2 pictures are very important for understanding from MSME perspective, right? This picture talks about what is called supply chain. Maybe it's a little blurred there, right? There is a company which manufactures, you buy the raw material from another company, you convert it and give the finished product to the next company, right? The next person could be a dealer or it could be an end customer, right? The previous person could be a supplier or could be a sub-supplier. So typically a supply chain is nothing but starting with raw materials, going up to after sales service is called the supply chain, right? It's a big jargon but so easy to understand. Now I put another picture here. OEM, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Tier 3 also known as job shop. Now if you take the Mahindra example or Tata Motors or TVS Motors or Bajaj Auto in Pune, and they have a sub-supplier called Endurance. Let me take a West Asian example. Yeah, Endurance is a great company in Aurangabad. They are there. They are also there in Pune. They are a sub-supplier of Bajaj. They started with the two-wheeler industry, then they diversified into four-wheeler and other industries. Right? What do? They give the components to the large company called Bajaj. Right? And Endurance also gets some components from smaller suppliers. So if you look at this entire chain, this is called the supply chain of the automobile industry. OEM, Tier 1, Tier 2 job. Why do you quote the automobile industry? I think not only Nagpur, entire Maharashtra is famous for automobile clusters. Have you heard of the Nashik cluster? Nashik cluster is the first automobile cluster in the country which came to establish in the industrial cluster concept, and Government of India did a lot of support for that. And Mahindra was doing hand-holding of the cluster. And who is this cluster? MSMEs like you and me, right? And in this context, automobile industry is driving. Morning we talked about GDP and all, right? 70% of Indian manufacturing GDP. Overall GDP is manufacturing only 16%, of which 70% is automobile industry. So very important to understand today's context in the context of automobile industry, right? Of course, some of you may not be in automobile industry, but the concepts are very similar and you can take the clues from them. You should not worry which sector you belong to. All the concepts are sector agnostic. Now this is another picture which explains the same thing in a different way. You have Tata Motor here, and we have several sub-suppliers of Tata Motor. Bharat Forge Group, Anand Group, Tata Auto Components, Taco, Sona Group, TVS Group, and so on and so forth. So I just took one example, Anand Group, and Anand Group I just explored into Tier 1, Tier 2, etc. etc. This picture is exactly what I explained before, that from starting with the OEM called Tata Motor, you go to sub-supplier, and it goes a chain of customers. What has got to do with lean? What has got to do with industry? Let us look. Now I went to Chennai, illustration, right? Case studies are very important. Morning sir talked about Ashok Leyland, yeah? A similar example, right? These examples give us a lot of confidence that Industry 4.0 is easy to implement and also very beneficial. The value of the benefit is more important than the technology benefit. None of us can become the expert in technology. I am zero on the technology. Let me honestly admit to you. But we understand what the customer needs, right? All of us are oriented to the customer. In this case, it's an Indo-Korean joint venture. He manufactures clutches and brakes. You can see a picture here, right? It's a typical clutch and brake situation, right? Several components. And they supply to 100 different types of tractors. 100 different types of tractors. Not 100 tractors, different types. You know, in India, the large companies, there are only 10 tractor companies. But you go to Punjab, there are another 100 companies make tractors. There are companies who make only 2 tractors per year. So go to Punjab. Anybody from Punjab here? No. Yeah? So the big companies are John Deere, Tafe, Escorts, etc. etc. But there are many small companies who make tractors. So this company makes, and also they export. Not only for Indian market, they export. 100 different types of clutches and brakes. Now, you see that 200 plus SKUs, finished products. The clutch and brake. So I took it as 100 into 2. So 200 plus SKUs. SKU means stock keeping units. That means finished products. Finished products, stock keeping units is around 200 plus. Now I wrote 5,000 plus SKUs are child parts. Right? What are child parts? The parts of that particular clutch and brake assembly. Right? And imagine this kind of picture here, right? So many parts, right? There is a gear, there is a brake base, there are a lot of springs, blah blah blah. And if you add up all of them, and across the 200, easily it crosses, and that company has so many variety of parts lying in the stores and going to the shop floor. I visited in Chennai. They asked me to help them to do digital transformation, and then the COVID hit. Another problem happened. That's a different story, right? And that happened exactly in the beginning of 2020. Now they have very challenging quality target. 50 parts per million. 1 million is 10 lakhs, right? 50 parts per 10 lakhs. Only maximum defects are allowed. Defectives and defects, 2 different meanings, right? Only 50 ppm allowed, then it goes out of the factory. Inside the factory, well, customer doesn't monitor it. Right? It's an Indo-Korean joint venture, so they imbibe this culture of reaching an outgoing quality. Now, how do we do that? Then I asked this person, why did you call me? What is your biggest challenge? We always start the dialogue with you, right? We come to you and ask, what is your biggest challenge, right? This morning I think another question. Sir, what is that tool I must use? Then sir said, what is your biggest challenge? Right? Of course, we didn't have time to debate that. But in this case, I asked this person. Then the factory manager looked at his GM quality. Instead of his answering, he looked at GM quality. GM quality told, my biggest problem is mixing and mess up. Mixing and mess up. Very honest answer. It just came and I can never forget this statement. And what does it mean by that? Mixing and mess up. The child parts, right? Completely messed up in the stores, in the work in progress, in the shop floor. They're well organized company. There are many cells. Have you heard of cells? Cellular manufacturing. Cells are nothing but small groups of equipment which can do assembly of this clutch and that brake and whatnot, right? They have dedicated cells feeding to dedicated customers. There is a John Deere cell, there is a Toffee cell, there is a Escort cell, like that, right? They also had an aftermarket cell. The aftermarket cell has many varieties within the cell, right? And then there is a mixer mesa. So what do we do? This is how the dialogue started. Now, interestingly, I noticed this problem is more acute for MSMEs than the OEMs. See, the number of varieties, Escorts will produce 2 types of tractors, Toffee will make 4 types of tractors, I mean 4 into 2, 8 clutches and brakes, right? John Deere will make 3 types of, like that. Mahindra will make another 7 types of tractors, right? The OEMs have much less variety than the job shops, small and medium enterprises like you and me, right? So the biggest challenge which we are confronted and where our digital technology in Industry 4.0 can come in very big, in a big impact is a variety that we have to manage, right? Quality, delivery and cost are well-known things and we have no escape from that, right? But the biggest thing that is happening now is a question of how to manage variety and the flexibility to achieve that variety, right? Am I okay so far? So far so good? That's the context. There is a dark blue thing and there is a white thing. Let me read the white things, right? PDF file, don't know. Managing visibility of demand. These are the challenges of the MSME. My further dialogue with that company, I understood there are 4 big challenges. I am sure you are all facing that day-to-day basis. Visibility of demand of the entire supply chain. You don't know what the customer is going to ask the next week or even some cases next day. I remember there was a Hosur customer, manufacturer of MSME. I asked him what is the biggest challenge. He is a supplier of Ashok Leyland. He said, sir, Ashok Leyland Monday he is on target, Tuesday he changes it. The demand is changing all the time. He makes pipes and hoses and whatnot, which goes into truck. Every day the demand is changing. Every day there is a different forecast is given. And exactly the forecast they give, the next day it gets changed. So there is a huge amount of uncertainty. The key word is uncertainty. The second aspect is stringent quality specification, right? Customer will give you very tight quality and if you don't achieve, rejections. Barabar? Reject, okay, put debit note on that. How many of you get debit notes? Or how many of you don't get debit notes? And the third one is just-in-time delivery requirements, right? Just-in-time delivery requirements. What does it mean? If he wants it at 9:30 on Tuesday, you cannot deliver it to him on 8:30 on Tuesday. If you think this is actually a fictitious hypothetical situation, no. There is a company called Toyota. You know Toyota? In Bangalore, they strictly follow this. Not now, more than last 15 years. The suppliers have to supply exactly the quantity required at the time at which required, right? What is required and when it is required. Both are underlined by Toyota Motor Corporation from 1980s onwards in Japan and in India at least from year 2000 onwards, right? And this is called a just-in-time philosophy. There is no space, there is no stores. Nothing goes to stores, no GRM to be made. For bill passing you have GRM, right? Your customers make GRM, right? In Toyota there is no GRM. Good news, no GRM. You deliver it based on the number of cars produced at the exit. They will multiply it, your bill will get paid. That's called the back-first system. But the fourth point is extremely important, I already touched upon, is managing the variety of things that all of us are facing as MSME, right? So the four things, very, very challenging. Demand, visibility, quality requirements, just-in-time delivery, and variety. So with all this context setting, what is lean manufacturing? There are three things that we have to look at in lean manufacturing. Now we'll go to gear number 2. Context is clear. Always the purpose of doing it is more important than what it is and how it is. The why is more important. Any talk you have on Sundays, every Sunday you have, right? Always find out the purpose behind it, right? Shortening the lead time. Customer wants fatapat de do. Even masala dosa when we order, the first statement we did, we want it fatapat, right? Even if the quality is okay, we accept it, but if it comes half an hour late, what is the point in having an excellent masala dosa, right? Shorten the lead time. Second is minimize the cost. And third is go for the highest attainable quality in that particular product. It doesn't mean highest attainable quality across various brands. No. Whatever customer has asked you, you have to meet that quality with your best efforts. But these are the very classic ways of looking at the concept of lean manufacturing. When you eliminate the waste, you eliminate the idle time, you get the shortest lead time. You eliminate the scrap and the rejections and so many other unwanted things in the shop floor, you minimize the cost, right? You eliminate the defectives and rejections, you get the highest attainable quality. Yeah? So the waste elimination is indirectly related to the very same goals the customer is looking for. See, we are not doing waste elimination for the sake of waste elimination. We are doing waste elimination to satisfy the customer. Right? All of us are a customer. In some cases, we know the immediate customer. You may not know the farthest customer who is the customer's customer. But at least we know the immediate customer, right? If you satisfy him, that is good enough. But the fourth weapon is called the flexibility, which I already alluded. The customized requirements and the fluctuating requirements. Sir, in दोनों का फर्क क्या है? Right? Customized requirements. Each one of us wearing different color shirt, right? Green, dark green shirt, dark blue. Yeah? Is anybody having similar color? I don't think anybody in this room at least. Yeah, I think one more dark blue, which is not the same as SARS blue. A little more brighter. Yeah? The variety of the customization is not only in consumer products, but also in engineering products. Why should people have 200 types of clutches and brakes? The tractor is a tractor is a tractor. Yeah, it goes into the farm field and does whatever agriculture people are asking for. So why should that happen? Because people are crazy. They design different types of tractors. For the same size of tractor also, they will have different small Kaizens of their design, etc. Right? So variety is there in consumer product. Variety is there even in engineering products. Today, the word customization has become part of our life. Mobile phone, kitna, same mobile phone, how many of you have? His mobile phone is totally different from his phone, right? I don't think anybody has same type of phone. Even the covers are different, right? The second part is fluctuating demand. Either due to the uncertainty in the demand or uncertainty in the supply. These days, semiconductor, there is a lot of uncertainty. Have you heard of it? Semiconductor, due to COVID it happened. You know why it happened during COVID? Any guesses? They found semiconductors went to washing machine, dishwasher, refrigerator, air conditioner and televisions industry. Because people are working out of home or they are not able to go out due to coronavirus. So the consumer durable industry, what we use at home, exploded across the world. Right? And grocery you dial and get it at home. So e-commerce also shot up. But engineering industry was given the second priority. Nobody is going in cars, right? Even Ola car was not popular at that time during COVID. People have preferred to use the scooters and two-wheelers and auto rickshaws. So fluctuating demand is either due to the uncertainty on the supply side or uncertainty on the demand side. Both points will come. Well, this is a very, very copious chart. I don't want to labor on it. But suffice to know that there are two major technologies. I use deliberately the word technologies. In this case, technology not as in the digital technology. These are called the management technologies. We are sitting in IIM Nagpur, right? And what do they teach here? They teach management technologies, right? And just-in-time management technology and Jidoka management technology. Yeah, very small font, so I'm just reading it out. Just-in-time management concepts and Jidoka management concepts. I think this chart may not explain it well, but I will go to a better one, right? And these are all the various techniques. From technology I'm moving into techniques which go to make up what is called lean manufacturing concepts. What are they? Just in time, I already explained. Produce what is required and when it is required. Because tomorrow the customer changes the design, they will say, "Arey, tomorrow product mat bhejo." I know there are many MSMEs became sick in this country over the last 40 years because they kept on producing the product, customer design changed and he had to reject, scrap all the things, even though there was no mistake on his side. At least South India it happened many places. So very, very important to produce what is required and supply only when it is required. So this philosophy is strictly followed by Toyota Motor Corporation, even in India. That's the most successful high quality product that all of us have. And Kanban. The Kanban is a philosophy, very briefly I'm touching. Yeah? It means when I'm doing so, when I'm producing only what is required, I need a manufacturing concept which only requires what is required from the previous operation and supplies to the next job. How many of you in assembly line? Lot of assembly line people get, or only we make some finished products. The 4 or 5 manufacturing companies. Are you having any assembly operation? Which products? Which product?
You manufacture furniture.
Furniture.
You have to not exactly fully assemble it, but you have to sub-assemble something.
Correct. Exactly. A furniture is an assembly of sub-assemblies, and the sub-assembly has got many elemental parts, right? Imagine anything, even furniture is fine. Now in this case, if I want the 4 legs of the chair, only when I require, then the 4 legs of the chair only will arrive at the place. This is called the Kanban system. In Japanese language, Kanban means withdrawal. Withdrawal means pull system, right? You don't know what things. 1,000 legs bana ke rakh lo, right? Tomorrow furniture design changes. What do you do with the 1,000 legs? The 1,000 legs means as in the chair, right? And like that, there are so many techniques. It takes probably a 3-month course. I recommend sir to discuss with IIM and Nagpur to have a 3-month executive course on various concepts of lean manufacturing systems, right? It is very useful. Not only everybody thought it is only for the Tata Motor and Toyota Motor. No. On the other hand, it is required for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 companies. Tier 1 is called the medium size, the latest definition. Tier 2 is called the small, and tier 3, the job shop is called the micro, right? Micro, small and medium enterprises, right? So they are nothing but MSMEs. And there are many, many concepts. Very simple concepts like Kaizen, right? I was talking about the lunchtime. What is Kaizen philosophy? Anybody? Some more, Joseph?
If there is a
Thoda. Continuous is one underlying word. Thoda is another.
Continuous improvement in
What is the Hindi proverb? Boon.
First,
Sagar ban jata hai. My Hindi is bad, so I try to be very careful. It is there in all the languages, that proverb. Many small drops make the ocean. Yes, sir. You are saying
continuous improvement in change method. Kaizen.
the better the continuous improvement with improvement. Improvement itself means changing the better, right? Change for the better. They say change for the better. Means synonymous with improvement. Whatever we do, we have to do better than yesterday is one meaning. And whatever we do should be better than the other person is another meaning. You all have competitors, right? So you have to be better than the competitor. You have to be faster than the competitor. You have to be cheaper than the competitor. So the jargon is faster, better and cheaper, right? Which is nothing but quality, delivery and cost in another sense. At the same time, in Kaizen philosophy, competition is not the only benchmark. Your own achievement is your benchmark. I must be better than on Tuesday, better than Monday. Today is Sunday, okay. I should be better than Saturday. I should be better than at 10 o'clock, I should be better than my production at 8 o'clock. 2024, I should be better than 2023. March We already started on, right? Should be better than February. My quality and profitability, all of you worried about profitability, right? Profitability is nothing but the corollary of waste elimination. All of you keep saying, "Hey, profit nahi ban raha hai." I heard yesterday, Nagpur profits are just 1%, 2%, right? I'm sure if you really open your eyes and see, there is so much additional profit to be made by waste elimination. This is a big journey, but we have to start, we make the beginning somewhere. And many automobile companies, auto component companies are asked to pass on a 5% reduction in the price year after year after year. How do they do it? They go and eliminate the waste. They have no other choice, right? And so the Kaizen philosophy of many small drops make the ocean, right? Is not only faster, better, cheaper than competitor, but faster, better, cheaper than ourselves in the previous period, right? This philosophy is very important, and there are so many other things, right? Now there is another big copious chart. I will supply this to you, which talks about the various techniques which come under these various techniques. So it's a very big, yeah. I will just take one illustration: quality management. Total quality management, root cause analysis, A3 problems. Root cause analysis, just take one illustration. Any MSME in Nagpur which is doing root cause analysis will be more successful than an MSME which does not do root cause analysis. Why am I saying this? Any idea what is root cause analysis? To find the problem or to find the solution? To identify the problem.
First you find the problem, then you search for it.
Correct. You identify the problem. You see, second opportunity identification. Yeah? And then what you do? Please note down this very important statement. Then you ask yourself 5 whys. You go to the doctor and say, "I have a headache." Then the doctor says, "Why do you have a headache?" Yesterday I saw a Netflix movie up to 12 o'clock in the night. Then doctor, "Why did you see a Netflix movie up to 12 o'clock in the night?" "Because I was getting so bored with studying for coming to IIM Nagpur, right? So I had an entertainment of watching the Netflix up to 12 o'clock at night." "Then why are you getting bored with studying for IIM Nagpur?" It goes on and on and on, and they found that after 5 questions you can tell the doctor, "Doctor, now I give up. I will not be able to explain anymore." Which means you reach the root cause of the problem. When you reach the root cause of the problem, right? It could be a headache or it could be a rejection in the shop floor. Yeah, you have absenteeism. Lot of absenteeism. Workers coming late or workers not coming at all. Try to apply this 5 why analysis for the workers coming late or workers not coming at all. Absenteeism. You will find the root cause of the problem, or maybe more than one root cause. And when you eliminate the root causes, you will get a eureka. My God, this one, it will not repeat again. If you just simply try to solve the problem, it will keep repeating again. You have experience of problems repeating? I am sure, right? So I just picked up one example. There are many techniques. Yeah, this is what I said. The 3 months short-term course will be a great idea. So just to summarize all these things, this is very important core principle under the lean manufacturing, right? 308 is produce and procure what is required when it is required. There should be zero inventory. Easier said than done, but Toyota Corporation has done it. Not only inside their factory, but their sub-suppliers. The challenge what they did is every MSME in the Toyota supply chain have followed the same discipline as the Toyota. And now Tata has started the same thing. They call it Tata Production System. Then Bosch started in Germany. All over the world they started now, but Bosch Production System. Originally this concept was started by Toyota, so they call it Toyota Production System. Now another concept, I'm just touching some simple concepts, and then very quickly we come to how do we bring in that digital technology, right? The core thing is still not misunderstood or forgotten. The other word which you ought to know is automation. Quickly read it, you say automation, right? If you read it carefully, it is automation. Simply put, what it means, you empower the worker. How many of you have many supervisors in your factory? You have some supervisors, right? Managers, supervisors, big hierarchy, right? Tomorrow you take a oath. The manager, supervisor, chutti de. Don't ask them to leave the job. Just give them a holiday. Chalo, you go to Mahabaleshwar and come back. Right? And tell all the operators, boss, you run it. You stop the line when you want. Stop means not for some strike or something. If you find a problem, you are empowered to stop the line. If you don't have the tools, you are empowered to stop the line. If your machine is down, you are empowered to stop the line. If you find a quality issue, you are empowered to stop the line. If there is absenteeism and line balancing problem, you are empowered to stop the line. You give them that freedom. Have you seen how many of you do annual day function, family day function in your company? Even small companies, they do all this. Annual day functions, right? When you leave it to the employees, without any supervision, they do a fantastic job, correct? You know, the bridges in Nagpur, do you think they're all built with a lot of supervisors standing there? This fantastic bridge coming from one end of the town to the other. All done by people who are empowered, right? And the people know that the responsible job is given, right? They go all out to achieve that quality, delivery and cost. Now, automation is a method of bringing a foolproofing system. What is the word here? Foolproofing system, which means there is an automation built in. An example is given. Even there is a robo. The robo knows that the defect is produced. Do you have a welding industry in Nagpur? Welding or welding industry? Yeah. I think Nagpur little bit went beyond, so far away from Pune. So the impact of automobile industry was much less, right? But I think it's coming, with the aerospace coming in. Now in building industry, they use what is called
Thank you so much. This is going very well. I just need to be put the name.
software certificate.
Right?
Certificate software online. Thank you, sir. See you in Hyderabad, sir. So in welding industry, there is something called robotic welding. And the robotic welding, it's there across the country. There is a company in Nashik which is spot welding by robo. Yeah, they demonstrated an exhibition. Big company, but it's a small and medium enterprise. But they do all technology for spot welding by robots. Now, when the robo is looking at it with a vision camera, it compares the spot welding with a good weld. There is a standard good weld, and it compares with a not so good weld. And when it looks at it, aha, this is defective. Then the robot stops it. So instead of a human being empowered, even automation can be empowered to stop the process when there is a quality problem. It could be a quality problem, tooling problem, any type of problem. So this concept is called automation. Yeah, just small brief. Right? So with all this, we understand that lean manufacturing is nothing but waste elimination and with the goal of meeting customer requirement. Can anybody recall the 4 customers' requirements? The 4 requirements? You are doing it every day, so you know it.
Quality, time,
Quality, delivery, cost, and the 4th one which we tend to forget is variety and flexibility. Right? Flexibility is the most important thing. You will be confronted with that as we go along. Now in waste elimination there are many types of waste. Defects is one waste. Excess production is a waste. Waiting time, idle time is a waste. And workers and staff not used for the particular skill. Somebody has got very good skill but is used for wrong area, right? A highly skilled person is used as a helper. He is going in Gadi Dhaka Market, Chara, right? Instead of using a material handling system, you are asking a highly skilled person to just move the goods from one place to another. That's called unused talent. Transportation, unnecessary movement here and there, very familiar in our factories, right? Excess stocks, inventory, motion means even in your own work, wherever you are sitting and doing work, there is a lot of unnecessary movement. It's not ergonomically designed. And there are processes which are more than required processes. These have been found as a 8 classic waste. For you to identify waste back in your home, these are very classic 8 categories. And if you eliminate each one of them, your profits will zoom every day. And with the continuous improvement Kaizen philosophy, you are doing every day. So small drops. At the end of March, your P&L account profitability will be. It's a real life stories. those who introduced Kaizen from day one, right, are in a better situation than their immediate competitors, even in micro enterprises. Let me move on to what is Industry 4.0. Anybody? Industry 4.0. It's a big statement, but just easy to understand. It is nothing but Ola and Zomato. In Ola car, who is communicating with who?
In Ola,
When you're booking a Ola car, Ola or Uber, you have Uber in Nagpur. You are communicating with the driver. The driver has got a smartphone, you have a smartphone. Without smartphone, those systems will not work, right? And you are communicating with the driver. The driver GPS also shows where he is and he is arriving at your location and you are happy. Similarly, Zomato, who are all communicating? In the case of Zomato, Swiggy. There are how many smartphones in that case? There are 3 smartphones. Ola car is 2, but here it is 3. The restaurant one, he's got a smartphone. The driver has got a smartphone, motorcycle fellow, and you as a consumer has got a smartphone. Without these 3, it will not work. Yeah? So this is called the Internet of Things, IoT. What is Internet of Things? What are the things in this? 3 smartphones are the things, but there is a human being operating. Yeah? The employment is not eliminated by digital technology. They are still there. Nobody knows. And in the case of Zomato, 3 things. So imagine the same thing in our factories. Imagine the same thing in our shop floors. So it's a big sentence, not to give you a scare on this. There are 10 different technologies. Morning, I think something was spoken about various technologies. Maybe not readable here, right? But all these 10 technologies, including Internet of Things, is a backbone. Internet of Things is a backbone technology. And all these 10 technologies help you to make the customer satisfied and he is happy. By doing what? By improving safety, by improving quality, productivity, cost, uptime, delivery, cycle time. All these are your day-to-day basis you are talking, correct? So these 10 technologies are available now for the small and medium enterprises. I think even Government of India has got incentive schemes, you may be aware, to adopt these technologies one by one. You start the basic thing, Internet of Things, that is the fundamental. Don't jump into artificial intelligence, blah blah, jargon. The basic thing is Internet of Things, that's a foundation. Then comes one by one, all other things people will teach you, and at the end of the day, you must be able to use data to manage and control your factories. In your mobile phone, if you are able to get your production data even before you reach the factory, right, you will be very happy, right? Or when you have gone home at 8 o'clock having dinner, there is an alarm coming from your supervisor, machine breakdown over here. You will be very thrilled, right? So Internet of Things can be used to your advantage just by getting alarms, data, results, yeah, what we call as the KPIs. Have you heard of KPIs? Key Performance Indicators. All this in your palm top you get it, in your mobile phone you get it. There are many examples of Industry 4.0. This is a foundational thing I talked about earlier, is the question of flexible automation because we have to manage variety, and intelligent automation because we have to manage data. Automation with data, right? So I know for a fact even in cotton manufacturing, there are people in this room, in cotton manufacturing, many robots have come into the place. ABB robots are very popular in Indian market, in small and medium enterprises, in the area of cotton manufacturing. Do we have that level of automation already? Anybody? Yeah, in shipping cotton manufacturing, right? They call it end of the line, in end of the line technology, right? Both in manufacturing and in packing, final packing. The robots are coming to place. But the main point is, are they intelligent robots? Can the robot also inform you that how many cottons I packed? Are there any defects in the carton? Can I have a vision-based camera? And so many small things you can add to the robot to make it an intelligent robot. Are you with me? So there are some many technologies. When it comes to machines, we can use robotics. When it comes to the material, you can use RFID technology. Anybody heard of RFID? ID is a very important. Identity. You have to create an identity of the product, identity of the man, identity of the machine, man, machine, material, methods. If all of them are identified, that's a great step towards digital technology. So Internet of Things, pehla chalu karo. For that, of course, you need computerization. Sir, if you are not doing by computerization, how do we start?
We got internet.
Internet is there. Bhagwan ne diya. Yeah? All of us are logged into. You have a mobile phone, sir?
Yes.
It's working already on internet.
Yes. But there are some factories they are not using internet.
That's why we have to make a begin. To begin with, we need computerization. Then we have to have connectivity. Connectivity brings in the wireless communication. And internet is a, and Wi-Fi is the starting point. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, internet. Yeah, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, internet. This is a hierarchy of communication. Because wireless, why do you need it? As you are going in the car, you must be able to find out whether the production is happening or not in your shop floor. You can't have it with a wired communication, right? And IoT, cloud is nothing but internet. Cloud is a big jargon. It means the data is getting analyzed somewhere without your knowledge. That somewhere is also a big server. You know, there's a huge data server which analyzes all this. Well, this is extremely important for MSMEs. Our role that we are playing, from inbound logistics to the manufacturing to the outbound logistics, to the marketing, sales, after sales service, everywhere you can introduce technology to bring in improvements. Right? That is called value chain. Value chain is nothing but from raw materials to the after sales service. Every manufacturing company has got raw material getting converted. At every stage, you can have a digital technology or an automation technology to introduce. Yeah. Very quickly. So, our last part of the day, Lean 4.0. This chart is very familiar, right? So, in the journey of Industry 4.0 and in the journey of Lean, how do we integrate? Lean is a prerequisite. The very important thing I want all of you to know, if anybody is getting into the digital journey, Industry 4.0 journey, first try to introduce Lean manufacturing principles. And then go for Industry 4.0 principles. If you try to jump and go into digital because it's a very fashionable, sir, everybody is getting in, so I want to get in, you will get a lot of disappointment. Because your foundation has to be made very strong by starting with the Lean journey. And then, at least you can start parallelly introducing slowly the digital technology and intelligent automation technologies. If you jump into intelligent automation directly, you would have invested crores of rupees, but result nahi aaya. Many people are disappointed because of this reason. In fact, they found, in another couple of slides, we will put a comment. They found globally, there is a company called BCG, there is a consulting firm, BCG, Boston Consultancy Group. They analyzed and found 750 companies, very good companies across the world, and found only 5% are successful in introducing both Lean and digital technologies. And 70% of the people are neither doing Lean technologies nor doing digital technologies. So we are not far behind the world, yeah? But the important thing is, if you are able to do the Lean manufacturing carefully and gradually introduce the digital technology, namely Industry 4.0, then your success is better than. Because they found that if you do only Lean, you can get maximum 15% cost reduction. In this research they found it. 750 companies were analyzed. If you do jump into industry 4.0, you get around 10% cost reduction. But companies, when they did both, they get around 40% cost reduction. Is a result which they got in their study. It's a global study they did around 4 or 5 years back. We'll skip that. Right. So there are, see, it's a huge subject. There are around 14 techniques. There are around 14 techniques which can be practically implemented. And today is not the time to explain each one of the technique, but they put it under just-in-time techniques and Jidoka techniques. E-Kanban systems, etc., etc., etc. Error proofing. How to avoid operator making mistakes. Correct? It's a problem with all of us. In all the factories, we have operators making mistakes. You can use digital technologies to prevent the mistakes by operator. That is called error proofing. In Japanese language, they call it pokayoke. Have you heard of pokayoke? Some of you have heard of pokayoke. It means error proofing, mistake proofing, fool proofing. Vision-based system, sensor-based discussions, solutions can be brought in. So like that, there are many techniques. There are 14 techniques classified under just-in-time and Jidoka. So, to summarize, the holistic integration between lean manufacturing techniques, right? I emphasize more on the lean, right? And industry 4.0, touched upon a little bit. IoT, Internet of Things, is a foundation. If you do that, you get much better benefit than just doing the lean manufacturing or the industry 4.0. This is just one summary of this program called Just in Time. Anybody repeat what is Just in Time? Do you recall?
No inventory needed, you full method.
Produce what is required and when it is required. Supply what is required and when it is required. It applies to hotels, it applies to factories, it applies in service sector, it applies in manufacturing sector. There is no need to build up buffers, no need to build up inventories, right? And inventories hide the quality problem. If you pile up too much inventory, it hides the quality problem. You will come to know when you start using the item, right? Whether it even at home, if you buy 20 kilos of rice, is it better? Or you buy 2 kilos of rice every day? Right? In 20 kilos of rice, there may be some worms inside. So just-in-time philosophy, by using additive manufacturing, cloud computing, and there is a concept called, do you know what is autonomous guided vehicle? Do you have it in mind?
Yes.
Mahindra Nagpur has got it. Mahindra Nagpur has got autonomous guided vehicle, right? A robo is like a vehicle. It just goes, takes the material from one place to another, and sequentially, yeah, you come across that. There are beautiful videos on it if you have not seen in your factories.
E-commerce warehouses.
E-commerce warehouse is very popular.
Sorting.
Yeah, but not only sorting, it will bring it from the right location and send it to the packing, and then you get from Amazon and all. So AGV, AMR, there is another concept of autonomous mobile robot, AMR. Very popular, and I think Nagpur must be having a lot of such warehouses. Amazon warehouse, Mother's and Sumi, Reliance warehouse, they use that. So all these concepts are related to the philosophy of just-in-time 4.0. Just an example. We will put a comma here and over to the market. Thank you, sir. Video ka, ठीक है, time over the video देखता हूँ.
So don't you think having a inventory helps you in sales and marketing? I mean, if you have if you are giving away the inventory for a new venture, if you are giving away the inventories to the sub-distributors, so it also creates a pressure for them to increase the sales because they have the inventory.
Can you rephrase the question?
So like
you are in which business, sir?
Sorry, yes sir.
You are in which business?
I'm an architect by profession, but
Okay.
but we are also into construction chemical manufacturing as well.
Right.
So I recently started looking for the WSL, wholesale super stockist. So we have distributors and sub-distributors and now what happened last year, last year in the month of December, we had created a lot of inventory with us, manufacturers.
Chemicals.
Yeah, chemical, construction chemicals. We have 72 SKUs. So what the strategy, what
It's like phosphorus.
no, it's durable.
Similar.
Yeah, so Phosrock is something we used to do OEM for them.
Okay.
So what our strategy has been going on in the management is that they are trying to push up the
Dump them.
Yes, exactly. So I questioned them and they were like, it also because the product is new, because previously we used to do OEMs and now we have to. So
What is your payment terms with the distributors?
with the payment, so like we are working in advances on this.
See, there are industries, pharma industry if you take.
Yeah.
Can you do this, afford to do this in pharma industry? After 30 days, if the shelf life expires, they are liable to take it back. Right?
Yeah.
So even in chemical industry, there are products which get, for example, the single
Cement-based products.
cement-based product and there are single component, it gets solidified. Yeah, you have such experience? Some
Six
adhesives,
months.
adhesives.
Yeah, we have some of
And
that.
there are two component
Adhesives,
adhesives. If you put the two
adhesives,
components
yeah.
together, it becomes solid.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of issues on shelf life. That is one reason.
Yeah.
Second reason is that the product may become obsolete. Building technology might change. Okay, that's an extreme reason. Technological change. See, there are two things we know. One is supply side inventory management. Another is customer side inventory management.
Yeah.
Right? Customer side inventory management has got distributor, wholesaler, retailer, etc. etc. There, at least your ability to suck it through the system and it goes to the end customer is very fast. Now put the same thing on the other side. From vendors when it is getting, especially in assembled products. See, a chemical is a commodity, right? How many steps of process it goes through? The one that are you manufacturing it or you're trading it?
So, like I am looking into trading right now. We
So
are
in
manufacturing
trading you
it.
will not feel the pinch because
We are manufacturing.
you're taking a minimum risk.
Yeah.
You are just pushing the risk this side. Those guys who make the elemental molecules and pushing the risk to the other side where the compounds are going to customers. So maybe the illustration we are talking is more relevant to manufacturing in terms of inventory management. But even in trading, obsolete materials will get scrapped. There are many traders I know they become sick because there is nobody to take their products. Because the designs have changed in many industries. I remember in one industry where I used to work, footwear chemicals, leather tanning chemicals, right? The particular tanning chemicals or the particular shade of the color, all this becomes irrelevant. Suddenly summer fashion is different from winter fashion. The whole thing has to be scrapped. But they have a huge margin, so they absorb all the losses. But the waste is still there. Our aim is to eliminate waste. We took a oath, right? From tomorrow onwards we are going to identify and eliminate waste. One of the simple lessons for today, for the room is identify and eliminate the waste. Maybe you are not fully satisfied, the young man. We will have offline discussion.
Yes, sir.
Any other?
Sir,
Before we go to the video. Yeah.
sir, you in just-in-time strategy as a manufacturer, if we order raw material in time and let's suppose the raw material delays by 1 or 2 days, I will have the idle time of employees and the machines I have to start again, so that cost would be high. So would that be good for small industries or small machineries?
So what you're saying is, if I rephrase what you're saying, if your supplier has let you down
Yes.
and he has not supplied the material on time,
Even a transportation
maybe a logistics problem or the truck is an accident, then your factory is idle, your manpower is idle and your machinery is idle. It's a point you're making, right? Now imagine, suppose you want to therefore build a buffer. What you're saying is, therefore I would like to have stocks. The solution you're finding is to have stocks.
minimum buffer now.
Minimum buffer. No, the minimum buffer amount. Suppose you start consuming it. You start consuming it. The buffer is like a wall, diwar. You don't know what's going on to the supplier. The supplier may be still failing, or the lorry may be still failing, the accident may be still happening, you don't know it. This fellow, this buffer, prevents your visibility to what is happening beyond the diwar. You get only the false sense of comfort that outdoor दिन के लिए मेरे पास mall है. But the moment I consume this mall, I'm not talking from actual experience of my own. I consumed it, then I am hit with a surprise. अरे फिर भी supplier fail हो गया, फिर भी truck fail हो गया, फिर भी truck का accident हो गया. अभी क्या करें?
अगर 2 दिन में आ गया तो सिर्फ 1 दिन के लिए लेट हुआ.
No, what I'm giving you an example here. You tell me in this example, I had a 2 days extra buffer and I started consuming it. And therefore it gave me a false sense of comfort that everything is going on fine. I can fulfill my customer's requirement. But then comes suddenly, again that fellow's failed. So what do? Will it no? Will you be able to build a 4-day buffer? Will you be able to build a 6-day buffer? Will you be able to build a 8-day buffer? Where will it stop? This is a $1 million question.
Maximum lead time,
So what people do is to minimize the risk. What people do is, even Toyota Corporation is doing this. To minimize the risk, what they do, they have a supplier A and supplier B. In automotive industry, they can't suffer the end delivery. End delivery is sacrosanct. Right? Quality delivery and cost.
For the same product they have.
Right?
For the same product.
Sometimes 3 also. But they will not activate the second and third. Japanese are very loyal to the supplier number 1. Or maximum 2 they will keep. They will give 60% demand to one, 40%. At least instead of making it 0, at least see the chances of both suppliers failing is very low. See, life is full of risk. But you take a 50-50 risk. Sorry?
If both will then take a holiday.
If both fail, we can declare a holiday. That is one answer. The other answer is, can I make sure that I develop the supplier? There are some other things I didn't show you. Supplier development, you are an RSC, you are suppliers, right? OEM responsibility. The first chart you remember, it's a hub and spoke model what I showed you. We have presented to the government of India. The digital technology should be funded with OEM. They should give the money to Mahindra in order to develop the sub-suppliers of Mahindra, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, with the digital technology. It's called the hub and spoke model, which means the responsibility to develop the supplier for his quality, for his delivery and for his cost, which becomes a price, right? Falls on the OEM. How many of you make branded product? Your own product goes to the end market. Anybody? What product do you make? Furniture. Goes to the end customer. Is a different, which one?
Durable.
What is it?
It's a construction chemical.
Construction.
Yeah, that's
Trading.
No, we are into manufacturing. as well.
Manufacturing.
I look for trading, like WS.
It's a manufacturing and it goes straight to the dealer.
Direct to customer.
Finished product. So in your case, there is no concept of, you are not into the supply chain concept of a trucks or a truck, right? That example may not apply. Anybody in aligned with?
manufacturing of steel racks.
We are providing Industry 4.0 solutions and hardware to factories to digitalize their processes out.
Fine, but okay, you are into the, you are on the other side of the table. You are actually providing solutions. And what kind of customers you have?
Like C8, in UAE like ADNOC.
No, what is your customer's product?
Tire. C8 is a tire.
CM tires. Okay. So your case is you are a support function.
Yeah.
You are giving the digital solutions. What's your company name?
Sense Life Technology.
Sensors.
Sense Life Technology.
Sense Life Technology. You are providing hardware.
Yeah, hardware and software.
And with that, what problem you are solving?
We are basically condition monitoring.
Condition monitoring. You are looking at the equipment life. Right? Equipment life, maintenance, downtime. How many of you have downtime of machines? So in a day, how many hours the machines are down?
Depends.
On average. What is your utilization factor due to downtime?
In wire drawing industry, we saw 40% down.
Wire drawing industry says 40% downtime. In your furniture industry, breakdowns.
We can say that about in a month, one breakdown can be consumed.
Only one breakdown. So you are
Breakdown
lucky.
counts, but all other reasons.
You are lucky. But in process industry, chemicals, if any one equipment down, the whole factory is zero point. Because that's a continuous process industry. In continuous process industry, the issue of downtime is extremely critical. Now there are digital technologies. Your good friend here in your own group, which ensure that conditions are monitored and prevented before the problem happens, before the failure happens. And continuous process industry is extremely important to monitor and prevent it. Because the moment it happens, you lose batches of chemicals, right? In pharma industry is very acute. Food and beverage is also very, very acute. Chemical industries, petrochemical and chemical is extremely important. And so I recommend all of you to look at digital technologies which are used in the first and foremost in Indian market. For all of you, my advice is look at the downtime of machines, right? Rather than other areas like man and materials, etc. The second area to monitor is utilization of materials. So if you take two projects in each one of your factory, machine uptime means 1 minus downtime. Right? If 24/7, if machines can run, MSMEs will be very happy, right? So that is the goal number 1. Goal number 2, whatever materials are going to the shop, through the shop floor, there should be no rejections. The yield has to be maximized, the scrap has to be minimized. Goal number 2. Other areas like manpower, etc., you can address later. If you take up these two, your return on investment of digital technology will be assured.
And one lower hanging fruits is energy.
Yeah, but energy, I found, by the time they save energy, government is increasing the tariff again, right? I think in all the states, the per unit tariff energy. So it has not become a low hanging fruit yet. Unless it's a company with consuming huge amount of power. There even if they say 2%, what kind of percentage savings you are guaranteeing?
In research 20 to 30%.
नहीं research छोड़ो, आपका actual experience में है.
Actual भी 5 to 10% होता है in foundries.
Foundries, yes, foundries and forging are high energy consuming businesses. So then I totally agree with you. If you are able to bring digital technologies to monitor the energy consumption, but simply monitoring is not enough. You need to do something about it in corrective and preventive action. Okay? When you do that, foundry is a big guzzler of energy. I think Nagpur has got many foundries, right? LSSL. Yeah? Any further questions? Video is not important. Questions are important.
But no, in MSME sector, they don't want to invest in this technology.
Who is they?
Owner.
Owners, it's expensive.
Why do we say it's expensive?
It is not expensive. Because
See, he's in the business of selling. Right? Now I'll tell you. Yeah? Hello, this is better. No, the issue here is return on investment. There is a word called return and there is a word called investment. This is a very important thing to all of you to note. I go around and evangelize this point that everybody is looking for the investment. So I am making 1 crore investment in automation or robotics or digital technology, internet, or whatever it is. Then the ability of young men like you to prove that my return is so much. That is a very big challenge. Yeah? Everybody is able to say, इतना पैसा डालना पड़ेगा, उस पैसे कितना फायदा मिलेगा. How do you measure the return? Let us say energy monitoring. How do we measure the return?
by comparing the actual consumption and their requirement of the.
Suppose the saving is only 5%, which you mentioned. If the 5% of the energy bill, say let's say energy bill is 7 lakhs, MSME energy bill will be 10 lakhs. Per annum?
1 to 2 lakhs per month.
Per month. So around 10 lakhs. Yeah, I just guessed. Okay. MSME, micro. So in 10 lakhs, 5% is kitna? 5% is 10 lakhs. 50,000. 50,000. Suppose you bring an energy saving condition monitoring tool and you say the bill is 1 lakh. Right? They will say 2-year payback period. But you will say only 50,000 per year. That too small amounts of saving. I'm not sure whether it is caused by that particular tool or whatever. And after 2 years, yes, your investment is paid back. So this kind of a calculation is extremely important to demonstrate. Right? And most of the problem arises in not measuring the return. Every return can be monetized. There is another program I have, how to monetize the return. You know the biggest saving that the industry can have, any industry. The biggest saving has been found Can you guess which one? Manufacturing industries. Any product.
Wish list. Wish list.
Wish list.
Wish list.
Wastage. You are absolutely right. But what kind of wastage? Is a cost of quality. Rejections. Quality, there are many types of waste. You saw that, no? Too many waste types. One type alone you attack. Rejections. Material rejection, product rejection due to quality. That alone, I can tell you, if you are able to measure it before introducing this technology and measure it after introducing technology, you will be totally convinced. But then, any one company has to build a cat. Any one company has to build a cat to prove that, so you have to do a lot of demonstrations. They have what is called proof of concept, yeah? POC. What is the POC purpose? To do a pilot study to demonstrate. In the demonstrate, you have to prove that the rejection rates have come down, the saving is so much, my investment on technology is so much, so the return on investment, it cannot be simply verbally convincing. You have to demonstrate that. So you have to identify the low-hanging fruits, as you said, and the quality rejection is the biggest low-hanging fruit across India. Across any industry, not only automobile industry, chemical industry. Chemical industry can be very big. One small mistake, you lose batches and batches, crores of rupees. So if you can measure the cost of quality, we call it cost of quality, which is nothing but the cost of failure. Internal failure is one. External failure is another. Warranty problem. अगर product का warranty होगा तो then you will have a lot of warranty returns. You have to measure that also. So big subject. Return on investment calculation is not easy. Many people think robotics is meant for productivity improvement. Correct? There is a wrong assumption there. Robotics is not meant for productivity improvement. Robotics is meant for consistent quality. The only reason for automation through robotics is to achieve consistent quality. Please take it from me, any industry for that matter. Right? And if you are able to achieve consistent quality, robotics is only 18 lakhs or 20 lakhs. One robot is just 18 lakhs, 20 lakhs. If you buy a Kobo, you know, Kobo, collaborative robots, is very popular in small and medium enterprises. In this country, there are 1,000 Kobos given by a Danish company across the country in small and medium enterprises for CNC machine printing, for assembly line, for pick and place, for cotton packing, for gluing, for riveting. You name it, all the small and medium enterprise operations, chota operations. That is not for improving productivity. That is for achieving consistent quality. Which means, as morning sir told no, what somebody asked, will the manpower, labor, unemployment will happen? The answer is no. Because we are going to reach from the 5th rank of the economy to the 3rd rank. What does it mean? We are going to become a $10 trillion economy. We are at 4 trillion now. And this is a 15% compounded average growth rate. I was part of the Karnataka research. So in Karnataka, we are given a target of $1 trillion economy by 2030. Right? 31. Yeah, we are closing now. You want to see the video or we close it?
Video.
Yeah. We'll leave it to the moderator.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
That was an excellent session. I request Ashish to please
We always follow the moderator.
request everyone to join us for the validation function and the final session of CIMCON by the
We will be back.